Hey guys. So I got my laptop here in front of me. So please say hi on the chat if that's available to you. I would love to hear from you. Before we get started, there is a playlist in the YouTube description. Totally recommended, but I think it's a super fun playlist, so feel free to check that out for today's class. And I'm just going to give it another minute. Looks like people are still logging in. And if you have any questions, like during class, if you just want to chat, I'll keep checking in with the laptop over here. I love getting your questions. I love hearing from you guys, so please feel free to say hi on the chat and start a little bit of conversation. It also kind of helps me teach you better, so if you ask a question on there, I can kind of deal with that live and come up with some great answers for you guys. So, oh my goodness. Hi Renee. Hi Rachel. Oh my goodness. So excited to hear from you guys. I miss you. Okay. Just another minute. Hi Amy. Oh, miss you. All right, well let's go ahead and get started. So if you're gonna listen to the playlist, now is the time to hit play. Okay. So for today's class, go ahead and find any position that you would like to start off for just a little bit of grounding. Maybe that's crisscross applesauce. Maybe you'd like to be more in a hero's pose. Maybe lying down. Your choice. We're going to be here for just a little bit. Start to take some deep breaths here. Closing the eyes. Big inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing on your own. Slow inhales and even slower exhales. As we slow down this breath, I want you to slow down the mind. Start to let go of the day. Let go of any of those thoughts that are floating in. Save them for another time. Start to settle in for your practice. Commit to this breath. Know that it's here to help guide your practice today. Couple of more deep, slow breaths. And if you had an intention for class, this is a good time to set it. We'll be working on a few tricky poses today, including splits and an arm balance called Eka Pada Koundinyasana II. And if you don't know what that is, that's cool. We're going to talk about it today. But maybe your intention today is just to work on these poses and to be okay with where we're at with them. To try something new, to understand that we might get frustrated, but to let go of that frustration and embrace where we are in our practice. Our progress with this practice has nothing to do with our value as a human. Our practice is our own. And it's more about understanding where we are, listening to the body, and less about how perfect we look in the pose. Let's take one more deep inhale. And one more deep exhale. All right, guys, start to open up the eyes. Flutter them open, nice and gentle here. If we've chosen to lay down, let's start to roll over to our side, coming back up to a seated position. And then if we're in a seated position, let's start to come forward and even to a tabletop. And then start to come up slowly, meeting me in a standing position. We'll roll up pretty slowly here, one vertebrae at a time. No rush to meet me in standing. All right, now we're at the top of our mats. Let's take our big toes together, our heels slightly apart. I want you to start to engage the arches of the feet, really start to pull up through the arches. Now engage through the quads, lift up the kneecaps here. Nice and strong through the legs. Start to tuck the tailbone slightly under. Start to feel that core engage, almost like a seatbelt that's a little bit too tight across the center of your body. Dropping your hands down by your sides, relaxing your shoulders. Stretch the fingers out nice and wide. Energizing through those fingertips. Now inhale, grow a little bit taller through the crown of the head. Reach, reach, reach for the ceiling. Keep growing taller as we're standing nice and strong. Big inhale. Big exhale, let go of the day. Now big inhale, reach up towards the sky, reach those hands up overhead. And then exhale, I want you to bend through the elbows, starting to cactus the arms. Inhale, reach those arms back up high. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up one more time. Exhale, give me a big lion's breath. So this time we're gonna have a little bit of a back bend. Exhale. Awesome. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, I want you to start to find a forward bend here. We're bending through the waist, bringing the hands down to the ground. Awesome. Inhale, nice half lift here. So your fingertips can be at the ground, but I'd actually like them here on the legs. Yep, right below the knees. There we go, guys. Now I want you to stretch the crown of the head towards the wall. Nice flat back. I want you to engage the core here. Pull the belly up towards the spine. Awesome. All right, exhale, let everything go. Feel free to grab opposite elbows. Maybe start to find some movement here. Going from left to right. Big figure eights. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat. Step or jump back to plank. We're high on the toes, our shoulders are over our wrists. Exhale, bending through the elbows, come down to the mat halfway and then shift forward. Rise up to your up dog, your cobra. Big inhale, look up. Exhale, roll over the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Come up high on the heels and we're gonna drop them. Let's go through that again. Lift the heels and drop. Lift the heels and drop. All right, cool. Lift the heels, now bend the knees, look up at your hands, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, hands overhead. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step or jump back, plank. Chaturanga, elbows tight against the body, and then inhale, lift up to your Cobra, up dog. Exhale, roll the hips back. Ears to biceps, down dog. All right, cool. We're gonna move a little bit differently now. So I want you to take a big inhale as we lift the right leg high. Point the toes down to the mat, square off the hips here. Engage through the core. Awesome. Now I want you to now lift the right hip up towards the ceiling as we bend the right knee, pulling the heel towards the glutes. Imagine you maybe have an orange or something that you'd be squeezing, squeezing, squeezing that heel towards the glutes. Check in with your shoulders here. Square them off, look up at your hands. Awesome. Keep squeezing. All right, squaring off those hips, so we're gonna drop the knee back down, look up at your hands. I want you to bring the knee towards the wrist. We're gonna connect the right knee to right wrist. Inhale, lift back up. Three-legged dog. Exhale. Now bring the knee to the elbow. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale. One more time to the elbow. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Lift it back up. Inhale. Exhale, look up at your hands, and I want you to bring that right foot between the hands. So we're setting up for a lunge position. Our right knee is bent. We're high on the back toes here. That heel is right over those back toes. Yeah, inhale, I want you to take your hands forward and then all the way up. Setting up for our Crescent Pose. Your hands can be apart or you can bring them here to prayer. But look up at your hands. Now start to trace the hands back, back, back towards the back of the mat. Open up through the shoulders here, get a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, hands come forward. Sweep, sweep, sweep them all the way down and then back. Step the left foot to meet the right. Knees are bent. Little bit of a chair pose here. Inhale, bring the hands up high. Exhale, sweep them down to the ground. Now I want you to take that left foot, step it back. Here we are in that lunge again, except drop the knee, untuck the toes. All right, inhale, hands go back up high. Setting up for our underneath. Again, hands can be apart or hands can be at prayer. Start to bring it back, open up. Feel the stretch that's happening down here on that left leg. Maybe we're starting to feel some tension between the left knee and the right heel, starting to pull together. That's what we're looking for, guys. And then exhale, hands come down to the mat. Bring it towards the inside of that right foot. Walk that right foot out towards the edge of the mat. So here we are setting up for a lizard pose. Go ahead and get comfy here. So what we would like to do on our lizard pose is start to get a good stretch here. Maybe you're here on the fingertips. Maybe you come down to the forearms. Keep working to pull that right knee in towards midline here. Take a couple of deep breaths, find what's going to work for you. Keep pulling the chest forward. All right, now I want you to come out onto the edge of this front foot. So we're going to take the knee out towards the side. Turn to you for just a second to show you what that's going to look like. Yeah. Keep breathing through this. You can stay here, or we can amplify this a little bit, your choice. You can take the right arm up high towards the ceiling and then scoop it all the way towards the back of the mat. Pull the left foot in towards the glutes again. Maybe the hand connects with the foot. A little bit of a quad stretch here. Maybe we start to open up through the chest, your choice. If we're in that quad variation, go ahead and let go of the back foot, but no slingshots. Bring the right hand back down to the ground. Cool. All right. I want you to take that right hand back out to frame the foot and walk the foot towards the middle of the mat. Yeah. And then we're going to start to walk our hands back. We're going to set up for half splits here. So in our half splits, we want to try and keep our hips over that back knee. And then I want you to flex that front foot and engage the quad. Actually take your finger right now. Touch your leg here. See if it's engaged. Awesome. If this isn't enough, I got some options for you guys, don't worry. If you want to amplify this, I want you to start to do some cat-cow. So inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, pull the belly in, drop the head. Inhale, look up. Yeah, exhale, let it go. Inhale, look up and hold. Breathe through this. This should really amplify the pose for you. And let's start to walk our fingertips forward, pressing that right foot back down into the mat. Take the right hand back onto the inside of that right foot. Lizard for just a second. Press into the fingertips here. And I want you to take that right leg and sweep it back towards the back of the mat. Let me show you what that looks like. Sweeping it back. There we go. Cool. So our toes are together, our heels are touching, and then our knees are apart. We're going to press back. Press down, press down, press down. Finding ourselves in a child's pose. Inhale, hands are going to start to lift, lift, lift as we start to lift the hips away from the mat. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, I want you to sweep the hands back down, pulling the belly in, pull, 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 strong through the belly. Sweep the hands back, back, back by the glutes. Rest, don't fall. Rest here, and then inhale, lift back up. Exhale, come back down, a little bit of a hover, pull the belly in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep it back one last time, hover, 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 pull the belly in, round a little bit through the shoulders. Awesome, inhale, come back up. Exhale, stretch the hands out far, far towards the top of the mat. Press them on the mat, and we're going to slide our chest forward, setting up for a Cobra. Big inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips go back. Down dog. Take 3 deep breaths here, guys. Maybe walk out the feet a little bit. And let's do that on the other side. So we'll take a deep inhale, lift, lift, lift the left leg high. Toes are pointed down to the ground. Hips are nice and squared off. Check in with those shoulders. Press into the fingertips here. And now bending through that left knee, pull the left heel towards the glutes. Lift, lift, lift through the knees, stacking the hips. Squaring off the shoulders still. Keep squeezing. One more deep squeeze here. You've got this. And then go ahead, squaring off the hips. We're going to start to shift the weight forward so our shoulders are over our wrists, bringing the knee to the wrist. Connect. Inhale, back up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, sweep it forward, connecting knee to elbow. Inhale, up. Exhale, one more time, connect and really squeeze here, guys. See if you can lift it a little higher, a little bit higher on the tricep. There you go, lift, 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 lift. Inhale, back up. Exhale, we're gonna step that left foot between our hands, setting up for a lunge. Inhale, Hands reach forward, and then up, up, up. Setting up for our crescent lunge. Hands can be together or apart, your choice. Look up at your hands, open up through the shoulders, bend through that left knee. Straighten out that back leg. Exhale, sweep the hands back, 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 back. By the glutes, by the hips. Step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, bring the hands back up high. Oh, we're in our chair pose. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Right leg is gonna go back this time. Drop the knee and tuck the toes, lunge. Inhale, hands go high. Lunge knee. Stretch, stretch, stretch here, guys. Feel the tension between the left heel and the right knee. Imagine pulling them together. Exhale, hands go forward, back down to the mat. Bring them to the inside of the left foot. Walk that left foot out to the edge. All right, lizard pose. Bring the chest forward. Find your level. Maybe we're on fingertips. Maybe we can come down a little bit more to forearms. Find what works best for you in this stretch. Take deep breaths, keep pulling the chest forward. And then start to come back up. We're gonna roll out to the left edge of that foot. Knee goes out to the side. Stay here. Or maybe pull that right heel in towards the right glute. Left arm reaches up and back, reaching for that foot. Quad stretch. Maybe we open up through the chest. If we're in that quad variation, go ahead, release it slowly with control. All right. Walk that left foot into the midline, middle of the mat. Frame the foot with both hands. Untuck that back toe and start to walk the hands back. Setting up for our half splits. So keep in mind here, we want our hips squared off. Hips are over that back knee. Foot is flexed. Take your fingers, touch your quad. Is it engaged? Is it strong? The answer is yes, Elizabeth. And we can stay here, just breathing through this, really embracing what's happening here with the body. If you would like to amplify, start to explore those cat-cows. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, drop the head, pull up through the belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhale, lift and hold. Keep lifting, keep breathing. Awesome. And then exhale, let's start to walk our fingertips back towards the top of the mat, press into the left foot. Walk that left foot back out to the edge just for a moment. Press both hands firmly into the mat. And then sweep that left leg back. Child's pose. Don't get too comfy here. Inhale, hands go up high towards the ceiling. Lift your hips away from the floor. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, pull the belly in, sweep the hands back, hover. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hover. Inhale up. Exhale, hover. Strong through the belly. Round through the back, just for another moment. Awesome, inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands reach towards the top of the mat. We're gonna slide our chest forward, Cobra. Big inhale. And exhale. Tuck the toes, down dog. Let's drop our knees down to the ground and take a child's pose. Take a little bit of a break. Check in with the breath. Checking in with our comments, seeing how things are going. Yes, these are fun yoga pants, aren't they? Okay. I think we're ready for the next part of our flow, guys. So in our child's pose, let's come back to a tabletop. Tucking our toes, we'll lift our knees, our hips back up, down dog. Inhale, right leg goes high. Point the toes down to the ground, engage the core here. Press into your fingertips. Press into your knuckles, really strong through the hands. And then exhale, I want you to bring that foot through, but this time, only bring the right foot to the right wrist. Don't step it all the way through. Right foot to right wrist. And then spin down that left knee to a 45-degree angle. We're setting up for a warrior one. Inhale, rise up, so hands go forward, 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 and then up. Hands can be apart or prayer, your choice. Check in with the hips, make sure they're nice and squared off towards the top of the mat, not out to the side. Pull those hands up and back, look up, look up, look up. Open up through the shoulders a little bit more. Keep bending through that right knee. Cool. Exhale, sweep the hands down behind the body, interlacing the fingers. If it's available to you, bring the heels of the hands together. Big inhale, puff through the chest. Look up. And then exhale, we're going to dive our chest forward, starting to bring the right shoulder towards the right knee. Maybe we're here and this is enough. Maybe we're able to connect the shoulder to the knee. Maybe we're able to take the hands overhead for a little bit more of a stretch. You do you. Listen to your body. We're going to be here for just another breath. Inhale, start to lift the head back up, dropping the hands back down. Keep bending through that front knee. I know it's burning, guys. Inhale, hands release, and then come back up, up, up. And then over to the side of the mat. I want you to lift the right toes up, up, up towards the sky, and then spin them to the side of the mat. Followed by the left. The left toes come up on the heel, spin them towards the back of the mat. Open up to a warrior two, back of the mat. So this right foot is parallel with the top of the mat. Toes are pointed towards the back of the mat on the left foot. Relax the shoulders. Look out over that left hand. All right, inhale, take the left hand up towards the ceiling. We can wrap the right hand behind the body or just have it come down the right thigh. Straighten the left leg. Keep reaching, 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 reaching. And then exhale, open up to your triangle. Left hand goes down by the left shin. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Check in with that right shoulder. See if you need to pull it back a little bit more. Reach up through the right hand. Little bit of an exercise to see if we're in the right position here. So if we're down too far, our hips are not getting the stretch that we really want to get out of this pose today. I want you to take those bottom fingers, that left hand, touch your heart, hold, look up at your right hand. Yeah. See if we're too low or if we need to adjust. Take the fingertips back down. Inhale, lift the fingertips back up, reach a little bit more. Exhale, fingertips down. One more time, touch the heart. Fingertips back down towards the shin. Inhale, come back up to a star. Toes are gonna point it back to the side of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Reach, 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 grow a little bit taller. Exhale, point the right toes back towards the top of the mat, bending through the knee. Open up, warrior two, front of the mat. Drop those shoulders, guys. Keep bending strong through that front knee. Check out the hips here. This is where we want the left hip to start to spin back. Cool. Now inhale, right arm goes high, high, high. Left arm can wrap if we wish. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down to the mat. Right arm, left arm, spin up onto those back toes. A little bit of a lunge for just a second, and then pop that left leg up high. Reach, reach, reach with those toes. Standing splits. Keep reaching. Now I want you to see if you can bring your whole hand down to the ground. This may not be available for everyone, give it a try. Press firmly through the fingertips, through the knuckles, and then see if you can lift the toes on the left leg a little higher. You might feel a rebound of energy happening. Yes, awesome. All right, left toes can come down to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing, hands overhead. Exhale, big lion. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step or jump back to plank. Chaturanga. Rise up, cobra. Press it back, down dog. We've got another side, guys. So inhale, let's take that left leg high. Exhale, I want you to take it forward and bring the toes to the wrist. We're setting up for that warrior one. So we're going to spin the right foot down to a 45-degree angle. Inhale, rise up, hands overhead. Bending through that front leg. Look up. Exhale, sweep the hands down by the side, interlacing the fingers. Pull the fingertips down, down, down the back. Maybe the heels of the hands come together. Couple of options here. We can just start to bring the chest forward. We can see if we can connect the shoulder, the left shoulder to the left knee. Maybe the hands reach up overhead. We relax the neck. Keep breathing through this. Your choice. Again, there's no problem if this is where our body is at. Inhale, I want you to come back up. Keep bending through that front knee, hands down by the back. Inhale, raise the hands up high towards the ceiling. We're going to come to the side of the mat. So we're going to come up onto the left heel, spin it to the side. Come up on the right heel, spin it towards the back of the mat. Bend through that front knee, or that back knee, I should say. We're at the back of the mat, right? Set up for your warrior two. Drop the shoulders. Look out over your hand. Inhale, right hand's going to go high. Straighten through that right leg. Look up, look up, look up. Exhale, right hand comes down for triangle. Left arm reaches high for the ceiling. Check in here, guys. I want you to inhale, lift as we touch our hearts. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, touch the heart. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, touch the heart. Exhale. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Reach up to a star pose. Toes both point to the side of the mat. Exhale, sweep the left toes towards the top of the mat, bending through that left knee. Warrior two, front of the mat. Big inhale, lift your left arm high, 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 exalted. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down to the ground. Spin up onto the back toes. Don't get too comfy. Inhale, lift the right toes up towards the sky. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. See if you can press the hands firmly into the ground. Big exhale, and then inhale, press the floor away. Lift a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And then exhale, right foot meets the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. All right, So we're going to be working on our splits. Why don't you come down to the ground, onto your knees, tabletop, and then maybe a hero's pose or something easy for just a moment. I'm going to show you a few options as we work through some of our splits, and then we start to build up a little bit to our Eka Pada Koundinyasana II, which is basically a hurdler's pose or flying splits, which is why we're talking a lot about splits today. So if you have a block at home, that's pretty helpful to kind of work on our splits. So I'll walk you through this and then I'll give you guys the opportunity to give it a try at home. So as we set up for our splits position, so we're maybe in that half splits and we decide we want to maybe push it a little bit more, we can start to inchworm the forward heel and the back foot. And then maybe we get to a point where we're just like, okay, this is enough, right here. If we have a block or a cushion or a pillow, we can help prop it up under that front leg to help us work through a couple of things. Part of it is what we're going to talk about next, is about understanding where our weight is. And the other piece, which we talked about earlier, is this quad, this front quad, needs to be engaged, all right? That's going to protect so much that's happening in the body with the splits. Now back out of this for just a moment. All right, so before we try to attempt our splits, I'd like us to go into a pigeon pose. So let's find a down dog. Take the right leg high, and then exhale, we're going to bend the knee and bring the right knee to the right wrist, spin the toes over to the left wrist, set up for our pigeon, walk the back toes away from the body. I want you to take a look at your back toes. Is your ankle or your toes in line with the leg? Can you straighten out the leg a little bit more here? And now checking to see, is it rolling in or are we nice and straight through the body? What often happens, especially with pigeon pose, when we're just kind of learning the pose, is that we end up shifting the weight over to the bent knee side, thinking that we're getting deeper in the pose that way. So often in yoga classes, we'll see people kind of leaning over to one side. So what I would like you to work on today is shift the weight over to the left hip. Yep. Now you're probably saying, Elizabeth, whoa, what just happened? This is a lot. This is intense. Now, if it's intense, like pain, nervy, back out of it, right? We don't need to go as deep, right? But if you're kind of really starting to feel that deeper stretch happening here by shifting the weight so that the hips are nice and squared off, you're doing it right. Nice job. Keep lifting the chest a little bit higher. Chest over hips, guys. All right. Take the fingertips down to the ground. Roll your way over to the right side. And then bring the left leg out in front. We'll move into pigeon on the other side. So we'll take the right leg behind us. Bending through the left knee, walking the right toes back. Turn your head, checking with that back leg. How's the ankle? How's the toes? Are we leaning over to the left? You might be able to see what I'm talking about here. We don't want to be here. We actually want to be here. We might need the support of our fingertips to get there. That's totally cool. Lift the chest, keep breathing through this. All right. Now shift the weight over to the left side. Sweep the right foot forward. Take the feet together, the knees apart. Setting up for a cobbler's pose. I'm going to face you guys for just a moment. Bring the knees down to the ground. Maybe hands grab for the feet here. Maybe they start to come down to the ground. Big inhale, and then start to walk the fingertips forward. Keep a nice flat back here. And then come back up. All right, so I think we're ready to start to play with our splits. So let's come back up to that tabletop. We'll take the left leg out in front of us. Our right hip is over our right knee, and we'll bring the left toes to the sky. Shift the weight over to the left side, just kind of like we just talked about, right? In our pigeon. Yeah, it makes a big difference, right? Now, you can stay here, work on this. This is a lot. Or if you want to play with your splits, start to bring the left heel forward and inch the right foot back. A little bit of an inchworm game. Again, if you have a pillow or a block or a dog that you want to stick under your leg, feel free to go for it. And this is where I need you to check in. How are those hips doing, guys? Are we leaning over to one side? Are we favoring one side? Are we able to square off the weight? Check in. See what's happening. So I'm going to recommend that you pull the toes to the sky, flex the foot, check in with that quad, and then see if you can point the toes from there. Play with it a little bit. Cool. All right. And let's start to back out of this. So start to pull the left heel in a little bit, walk the right toes, the right knee back in. No rush. Cool. All right, and let's sweep the left leg back, tabletop. Let's try that on the other side. All right, so right foot's gonna come forward. Left hip over left knee. Set up for your half splits. Right toes go to the sky, flex through the foot. Check in with the weight here. Are we nice and squared off? Nice flat back, pulling the chest forward. Stay here working on this, or if you would like, start to bring that right heel forward, walk the left toes back. Grab that block, grab that pillow, check in here. Give that a few more breaths. And then pull the right heel back in, walk the back foot in, the back knee. And we'll sweep that right foot back to meet the left. Press the hips back, find a seated position. So, Elizabeth, I feel like sometimes I really struggle with just working on my splits, and I'd like to know, is there something else I can do? Because this isn't just working for me. Yes, let me show you like one more thing. You don't have to try it tonight. Maybe it's something you just add to your personal practice at home. If you have a wall available nearby, you can give this a try tonight. Otherwise, you can kind of just watch and see what happens. So we can actually use the wall to help us stretch through those splits. So what we would do is take one leg up the wall. We're going to press the top of the foot into the wall, kind of like we're using the mat, right? Walk the hands towards the wall. And then, as we talked about, I want you to press your fingertips, your hands into the wall, into the floor. Feel that rebound of energy, lifting you up. And then your left foot is going to float. See that? See how I'm just kind of floating that left foot? Yeah. That's helping me stretch that rebound of energy. So, you can just do that between meetings. Work on your splits. Using a wall at home. A little bit of a tip there. Okay. So we've done our splits. And now I think we're ready to maybe have some fun with some arm balances. All right. So, Eka Pada Koundinyasana II. For Eka Pada, I guess I will face you guys for this. We need chaturanga arms. We did a lot of that today, right? Shoulders over wrists, fingertips really engaged. Knuckles of the hands really engaged, right? From there, I would like you guys to find your down dog. Cool. Inhale, take the left leg high. Lift, 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 lift. Keep lifting. We worked on that a lot today. Press through the hands, press through the knuckles. That's where that rebound of energy is happening. Now, exhale, I want you to pull the belly towards the spine. And we can move that chest forward, shoulders over our wrists. And as we do that, bend through the knee. So we practice a lot of this movement today, right? That's why you can connect the knee to the tricep. Inhale, come back up. Let's try that a little bit faster. The momentum really helps. Exhale, knee to tricep. Awesome. All right. If you would like to go from here, you bend through the elbows. Straighten the leg, lift the back leg. If you're like, Elizabeth, that's crazy. I can't do that. Don't worry. We'll talk through another option to get into your Eka Pada. If that worked for you, give it a try on the other side, or maybe you're just interested in learning this next part. So, if down dog to Eka Pada isn't your thing just yet, and you want to know how come, it's that exercise we do in yoga a lot, where we connect our knee to our wrist, right? You see this all the time. That's what's going to help you get to this. Another option for getting into your Eka Pada is from your lizard. We did this earlier today, right? So we bent through the front knee, brought it out to the edge of the mat. Back leg is down on the ground, right? All right. So if we want to attempt it from this direction, tuck the toes and lift that back knee away from the ground. There we go. And then I want you to come up high on the front toes. So we're lifting this heel away from the ground on the front foot. Nice. And then take this left arm, walk it behind that leg, behind the calf, out to the side. Yep. Plant it firmly into the ground. And then here's the fun part. You're going to sweep this left foot around the hand. Give it a try. Yep. And that's where you bend through the knees, shift the weight forward in the chest. Look up, look up, look up. Extend the leg, pop the back leg up. Eka Pada. I'm going to check in with my comments. I want you guys to give it a try, keep playing. This is the time to have some fun. You're at home. You can just play. You can see what's going to work best for you. Maybe the down dog, maybe moving from our lizard pose. And if you're like, Elizabeth, I've been in Eka Pada for a long time. Give me something fun to do. Cool, we can do that. So I think our challenge for our yogis that have been doing this a long time, and it's something that I've been trying to add into my personal practice, is getting from Eka Pada 1 to Eka Pada 2. So if you know where you're going, we start out in our side crow. We go into an Eka Pada 1. We pull the left knee in and exchange the legs. It's a lot of action through the core to pull that top knee in. Give it a try. Don't get frustrated, guys. These things are hard. It takes a lot of practice. If you're having fun with any of these poses tonight, whether it's your splits, whether it's your Eka Pada, take a video, throw it on Instagram, tag YogaZo in it. We'd love to see where you are in your practice. If you have questions, send us a message on Facebook, on Instagram. We love getting your questions. We love helping you learn. And we'd love to see your videos because we miss you. All right. So I think we're starting to get closer to the end of our practice here. So if you're still kind of playing with that Eka Pada, give it one last go. And then it's probably time to slow down our practice. All right. So if we're in that seated position, let's spin our legs forward towards the top of the mat. And then inhale, I want you to lift your hands up high towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bending at the waist, start to bring the hands down towards the feet, towards the ankles. So we've had a lot of stretching happening through the back of the legs today, right? So we might be a little bit more flexible than we're used to here. So what I'd like you to work on is bending through the elbows, bringing the chest closer to the thighs, but keeping a nice straight back as much as possible. So inhale, and then exhale, chest to thighs, bending through the elbows. Maybe the elbows are going out to the sides here. Breathe through this, keep your feet flexed. Inhale, come back up. All right. Exhale, I want you to roll all the way down to the mat. And then we're going to take, this way, we're going to take our right knee into the chest. Okay? Interlacing the fingers, pull the right knee in a little bit closer. Gaze over to that right hand. Keep breathing through this. You're going to find that the body's going to open up with each exhale. So this is why we want to really lengthen out those exhales today. All right. Let's pull the right knee back to midline, back to center. Extend the right leg long. Pull the left knee in. Give it a little bit of a hug towards the chest. And then start to bring it over to the right side of the body. Finding that twist, left arm will extend. And breathe here. So one thing I'd like to mention as we work on that Eka Pada, that arm balancing move that we did tonight, definitely a lot of core engaged for sure. And we didn't do a ton of core tonight because I've also found that as I work through Eka Pada Koundinyasana, that with a lot of core work, I end up starting to cause a lot of tension in my hip flexors. And so I was reading up on that and found that working through other things like splits, we might find that Eka Pada Koundinyasana is more accessible to us. And so I definitely will teach that class a lot. Let's go ahead and pull the left knee in. Take the hands around maybe the thigh or the knee, setting up for a figure four stretch. So anyway, I was saying that I find that sometimes that that work to stretch out the hip flexors can really help me get into that pose a little bit better. So in your personal practice, you might want to play with that a little bit. Maybe it's more core work. Maybe it's more getting into those hip flexors. So tonight was kind of just playing around with that, trying to show you something a little bit different from what I would normally teach. So I hope you enjoyed it. All right, bring the left foot back down to the ground, right foot comes down to the ground. Let's switch that out. So we're going to take the left ankle over the right knee, pull the right knee in towards the chest, wrap on the thigh or the knee, and breathe through this. All right, checking in with our comments, keep breathing through that, guys. Oh, okay. So I have to show how to get into Eka Pada 1. I'll do that really quickly. I want you to keep breathing through the figure 4 stretch. And then from there, when you're ready, open up the knees out to the sides and find a nice stretch here, relaxing the lower back, maybe bringing hands overhead. If you can watch me on your screen, I'll show you that Eka Pada 1 really quick, and then maybe we'll do a separate class around Eka Pada 1 because that's a whole nother thing. But in side crow, we lift the hips, we come up high on the toes, we start to bring the chest forward, right? And then, as we're in that side crow, right, we start to bring the left leg back, right leg forward, extend, extend, extend. All right. So we're here in our Pada Koundinyasana now. Side, we're relaxing that lower back. Maybe our arms are overhead. And start to reflect on our practice today. Did we learn anything new about ourselves? Did we find anything challenging, anything that frustrated us, or maybe inspired us? Take a moment to reflect on that. Big inhale. And now deep exhale, let go of the practice. Big inhale. Big exhale. What's done is done. Big inhale. Big exhale. The practice has forever changed us, but it's time to let go. Let's start to slow down the breath here. If you'd like to stay in your Pada Koundinyasana, please feel free. Otherwise, we can extend both legs nice and long on the mat. Take up some space here. Let the toes roll out to the sides of the mat. Take the hands down by the side of the body, turning the palms up to the sky. Relax any tension that you might be feeling in the ankles, the legs, the lower back, the shoulders. Stretch your fingertips out nice and wide. And then relax them, exhale. Keep breathing slowly. Let go of any tension you might have in the jaw. The little space between your eyebrows. Relaxing your face. Turning your attention to your third eye. And any thoughts that might be entering our mind, let them go again. Be fully present here as we let go of the practice and we come into this moment. Revisit your intention from the beginning of class. And let everything just melt away. Start to maybe bring some life back into the body. Rolling over to maybe the left or the right side, whatever works best for you tonight. Pulling the knees in, finding that fetal position. And then start to use the hands to help you press back up. Meeting me in a seated position at the top of your mat. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Big inhale for 3, 2, 1. And big exhale for 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale, taking in everything that you need. And big exhale, letting go of everything you don't. Rather than trying to change or control or fight the things that don't make sense to us, know that you will always win if you surrender to love. Namaste. It was my pleasure to lead you through your practice today. I really miss you guys. So if you enjoyed tonight's practice and you'd want to maybe check out some of our memberships options with YogaZo, please visit the YogaZo website. We have options for all levels, tons of tutorials, tons of great videos. We're adding content every day, and we would love your support as a local business. Really miss you guys. Have a good evening.